Hey everybody, Hermes here. Happy Chinese New Year for this Saturday. The moon and sun will be conjunct at around 4 degrees in Aquarius, which is nice for out of the box type thinking and behavior. So maybe that's going to have some kind of foreshadowing for the year ahead for everybody. I thought I'd do a pick a bundle tarot reading. We're going to go with past, present, future, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and archetypal influences, or something to focus on, archetypal behaviors or ways of being to focus on for the year ahead. I am not going to pretend to know anything about Chinese astrology. I've never studied it. I just read, whatever's available on the internet about it. I know that it's the year of the rat that's coming. I know that I'm a wood rabbit, and I do think that it's, from the little bit that I've read, it does relate to me. And apparently this year I'm going to have not so much luck with business or finances, but apparently us rabbits have got a good year ahead in terms of relationships, which doesn't really matter to me at all. That's probably exactly what I don't need, but hey, what are you going to do? That's the way the universe turns. Anyway, so if you guys just want to choose a bundle, something that resonates with you, choose something that's calling out for you, we'll do the reading, and we'll just focus on the past, present, and the future, the year ahead. And we're going to look at strengths, weaknesses, and your opportunities to look out for in the coming year ahead, in the year of the rat. And we're going to look at the archetypal influence, or the archetypal systems or ways of being that you need to think about, focus on, or perhaps develop or set aside in the coming year. So I'll give you a chance to choose your bundle, and so we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we'll get started. I'll just move these aside so we've got some room to do each reading. There we go, and let's get started with bundle number 1. Past, present, future. So in the past, you began a new endeavor and you've started building on that endeavor. At the present, you're creatively thinking about that endeavor. There's something going on that you're trying to create. It could be some kind of thought process, idea, something to add to this endeavor that you're building on. And as you're thinking about it, it's in the future, it's going to deconstruct something that you've constructed in your world, probably to do with this endeavor. And as you creatively think about it, as you draw in ideas from other things, think about it in different ways, analyze it, pull it apart, think about it from different perspectives. It's going to contribute to deconstructing something that you had thought was a well-founded part of your world, whether that's an idea, a concept, something that you've actually created, a relationship or whatnot. But I would say that whatever this endeavor is that you've actually just recently begun to build up, right now you're thinking about it quite differently, and you're creating a different way of thinking about it, and some new information is coming to you about it, and that's going to deconstruct what you thought about it. So your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities in the coming year are that you're feeling quite stable within yourself, and you have the ability to be quite stable in your approach to things, which is good. A weakness is that you can actually fluctuate. You can be you can tend to change in terms in relation to what's going on around you, and you can be a little bit influenced by what's going on around you. So you're going to have to draw on your strength of having stability in the past, your ability to stay stable and focused, particularly emotionally stable within yourself, have that kind of stability to draw on, which is potentially related to how you've begun this endeavor recently in the past, and what's influencing also this new desire to have creative thinking, which is going to change how you have perceived something. Your strength here is that you do have this stability that you can draw on. A weakness is that you can be quite changeable. So just notice if you're changing your ideas or your concepts in relation to what other people are thinking, and make sure that what you're doing is true to you. And an opportunity that's coming is that you've got a new pathway ahead. You've got a new path that's presenting itself for you to take. So this could actually help with this endeavor that you've begun to undertake, and it could actually relate to as this future. In the future, as this kind of falls apart a little bit, or as things are revealed that aren't necessarily as founded in as what you thought they were, it's going to open up this new pathway for you. And don't be afraid to go down this pathway, because it's going to relate also to this creative thinking. So this pathway is going to somehow it could be a new way of thinking. It could be somebody could offer you some new study opportunities, or give you a book to read, or tell you about something online that's interesting or that relates to this endeavor and that's going to help with this creativity. But it's going to be a new pathway for you, something that you haven't read about before, or something that you hadn't thought about before, that's going to help for you to, as this kind of falls apart, what you thought was true kind of is revealed to be actually something else, and is actually quite shaky. This new pathway is going to help you to reconcile this. And so, so in terms of our archetypal situations or our archetypal energies, remember that this is all just part of a greater cycle. So where you've been down, you've come up, and when you're up, there's always a possibility that you're going to go down. Everything's changeable. Everything's always moving in cycle with the universal waves. So just remember that as the year progresses, the year of the rat progresses, just remember that everything you're doing right now is part of a cycle. This endeavor is based on your foundation, your solid foundations, and that's what you've done to get you here. So as you're progressing, and as these things are changing, and you're having new ideas and creative thinking, even sometimes when your ideas can kind of float away a little bit, just remember that in the past that you've been shown to be capable of creating these new endeavors, and actually putting things into action, putting plans into action, and starting to build things for yourself. Just remember, it's all just part of the cycle. So it's nothing to worry about if things look a bit shaky in the future. There's always new opportunities that are going to be offered to you, new pathways that will be offered to you, and it's all just part of this greater cycle. So that's bundle 1. Bundle 2 was this pretty little guy. I love this crystal. It was mined in Tasmania, which is another island off Australia. It's a beautiful little crystal. I always try and buy crystals that are mined in small production, or buy secondhand crystals, or I try and buy crystals that are fossicked by locals, because I do worry about, crystals are just the product of mining, so that is actually kind of something that I think about. But anyway, off on a tangent there. Okay, past, present, future for bundle 2. In the past, you've had to really persevere with something, and you've seen some success with this. It might be an idea, it might be some kind of study, it might be some learning that you've been doing, but you've persevered with it, and you've seen some success from persevering with it, which is really nice. Presently, you're drawn to use this to guide people. So you're actually being called to be perhaps some kind of mentor, some kind of teacher, but you want to actually help people through your actions, which is really worthwhile calling. That may actually be what's been what relates to, that may be relative to this persevering with your thinking and your learning and your building up of some kind of knowledge base, and actually seeing some kind of success with that. And as you've seen success with that, you now are in a position where you want to pass that success on to other people, and share the knowledge and the wisdom that you've learned, and be that person that kind of holds space for other people, which is really nice. And in the future, what you want to do is actually take a real risk with this and move off on some kind of journey with this. So if you are thinking about perhaps looking at some kind of teaching, tutoring, mentoring, if you're thinking about engaging in some kind of in some kind of position where you're going to help people to kind of reach these discoveries and to feel good about themselves and to trust their own intuition or to trust their own minds, and to have some sort of faith in what they're doing in their pathway. This is what's coming to you in the future, in the year of the Ratty. And you're going to embrace this wholeheartedly. You're just going to move ahead. You're going to take a leap of faith, which may involve you actually kind of moving into an area that's not really very well respected or recognized in the community, which could actually be some kind of occult learning or occult experiences. That's cool. You're just going to take a leap of faith. It may involve you sacrificing your financial position that you're in at the moment, or taking a risk with that, but you just, whatever it is, you're really called to do this at the moment in the year of the rat. It's really what you want to do as you move ahead. Your strengths, weaknesses and opportunities in terms of this is that you're very intuitive. You're very gifted in this. You are intuitive. So this idea at the moment that you want to help people, mentor people, be a presence for people is natural for you, because naturally you are very gifted, intuitively gifted, and you are very connected with universal systems. You're very connected with the spirits, our guides, our ancestors. You're connected with every element. It's just natural. It's innate to you. A weakness is that you tend to want to create all the time. So you might need to figure out how to focus your creative energies. You might sort of because you are so intuitive, you might tend to be emotionally reactive to everything, and everything that comes your way, it's sort of inspiring you to want to create something new. But at some point you do need to kind of draw that back in a little bit and just have some kind of focus, because if you're going to step out into this new kind of risk, this new adventure, this new endeavor, that's very different, you will need to kind of rein it in a little bit, and just pick and choose in what areas you're going to really focus your creative energy. Opportunities that are coming your way is an opportunity to find the truth in situations. So this really is looking as though in the past what you've been building up is this, you've been persevering with some kind of perhaps occult endeavor or some kind of esoteric endeavor. Anyway, something that's kind of a little bit outside of the box, or that relates a little bit to people's not religious but mystic or metaphysical endeavors. And right now you're thinking about being a guide for that. In the future, what you're looking at, your opportunities that are going to come your way, are an opportunity to find real truth in this, an opportunity to find your truth in this. So when you're working on yourself, when you're meditating, or when you're connecting to the energies, when you feel as though, this is real, this is true, this is my truth, this is my calling, believe that it is true. It is relative, and it is what's the universe is putting out there for you. So have faith in that. Just have faith in your intuitive ability. Have faith in this mission that you're about to embark on. Have faith that you can hold space for people while they're doing the same as you, and just be aware that you can tend to kind of be a little bit apt to want to take on too much. Just be aware that you might need to rein it in a little bit, but you will have success. What you've built up is a successful endeavor. And here we go. You do have the strength. You are whole. You're complete. You're mentally, physically, psychically attuned. You're strong in your you're strong in your power. So when you're moving forward with this, it's going to come to you abundantly. It may not look how you thought it was going to look, but just remember that there is truth in this. There's truth in what you're doing. You are listening to your higher self. And as you progress through the year ahead, through the year of the rat, just don't fear stepping forward with this, because even grab out your own strength card from the tarot deck and just meditate on this, because she's showing you that you're part of the greater collective, and your strength is that you are a completely whole universal being, as above so below, and you have all of that within you as you move ahead. Cool. So that was bundle 2. It's all very exciting. I'm just going to fix the camera. Sorry, I'm still kind of getting used to it. Here we go. All right, bundle 3, which is this cool little, I can't remember what this crystal's called, but it's so cool. I love how it's got that cross thing on the bottom, and it's an egg. It's really pretty. Anyway, okay. Past, present, future. All right, so you've been creating something as well. You've been on a creative endeavor. You've started something, you've added to it, and you're at that point where you're ready to really invest in creating it. And you also, right now, are at some kind of crossroads and you're thinking about it. Cool. And in the future, it's going to prove really rewarding. You're going to find this point where emotionally you're very satisfied with it. You're feeling as though all this work has paid off, and you've been patient as you've been following this progress, as you've been following this creative endeavor. You've reached this crossroads now, so when you make a choice regarding which direction you're going to take, just go full steam ahead into it. Don't think about the other pathway. Just choose one and follow it full strength ahead, because it's going to be rewarding. You will find that emotionally you're very satisfied with the direction that you do take. There may be a little bit of disconnect between your ideas and your feelings, between your head and your heart. So just trust that spiritually you've creatively built this up, and Spirit has guided you to do this. So when you do take this pathway, when you do choose which pathway to take, and really pursue with everything that you've got in the future, it's going to pay off for you emotionally. You will feel rewarded with that, and it will be a good choice that you're going to take. Strengths are that you are very patient. You are a patient person, and you're very grounded, and you do have a great intuition around you, and you do have this great sort of connection to the earth, and this beautiful abundance around you. Weaknesses. Okay, your weakness can be that you do desire to amass. You do desire to create this wealth, and if you kind of try and pursue things just for a financial outcome, it's often not really as rewarding as you might like. So just try and remember that what you're trying to do is achieve emotional, like a sense of emotional peace within yourself. Don't focus so much on the financial gain, because your strengths are that finances just will come to you. Your financial reward, your material rewards, that's a strength for you anyway. It's not something that you need to be thinking about. You need to just remember that that's a strength of yours anyway, and that you do attract abundance anyway. So don't try, as you're creating this this thing that you've kind of created within yourself, or for yourself, and that you're going to pursue the direction of, like this pursuit that you're going after. Don't try and think, oh, I'm going to choose the path that's definitely going to have some kind of financial reward. Just remember that to choose the path that feels right for you, that emotionally is satisfying for you, that emotionally connects to you. Don't try and don't just think about the financial rewards for that, because the opportunities coming your way are to be creative. You need to focus on your creativity, and the most creative people are the people who just look within themselves and go with their instincts. They're not thinking about the financial outcome. They're thinking about what's rewarding for them emotionally. And creativity is a fragile endeavor. People are either going to love what you do or they're going to hate it. Like every time I do one of these readings, I'm aware that people are either just going to go, this is just shit, or they're going to like it and get something out of it. So just remember that to do things that are satisfying for you, to do things that reward you emotionally, because financially, in terms of material gains and goods, that's okay. You've got that covered. That's fine. So this year ahead is a time for you to perhaps follow the path that you thought you may not have taken, or perhaps just to right now where you're at this crossroads, perhaps just try and turn your brain off, and instead of thinking about it, just like, don't overthink it. Just go ahead with the pathway that feels right, rather than feels like that you think is right. Go with the pathway that feels right. And then the opportunity that if you do this, the opportunity is for you to be really creatively accomplished, to be really creative with your material world, to be creative with your finances, to be creative with how you work around this. So even if you're focusing or if you're preoccupied with building money, the opportunity is going to come to you for you to do this in a creative outlet, which is going to be emotionally rewarding. And the archetype that you're thinking of that's around you at the moment is for you to be some kind of leader for people, to be some kind of is to be a representative for people, to lead people. So this might actually be an opportunity for you to show people who are so used to you being in this kind of material zone or in this headspace of overthinking things. If you can choose this pathway where you're willing to be more emotionally attuned to what you're doing and to create from the heart rather than from the head, you're going to show people that that's okay and that there is power to be had in that. So that's something for you to focus on as the year progresses. The Emperor, I suppose the Emperor has power. It's invested in him, and he has this kind of godlike power amongst his people. But he needs to believe in himself first. It's hard to hold this seat of ultimate power if you're not really secure in it yourself. So the Emperor has all the material wealth that's available to him, but unless he can transform that from the heart and show people that he has the courage of his convictions, there's not much to it. It's founded on nothing, really. So that's what you need to really focus on as you move forward in the year ahead, as you pursue this creative endeavor that you've embarked on. Create from the heart. Take your head out of it a little bit. Don't focus so much on the financial outcome. Just trust that you have that covered, and that what you're trying to progress into is a more emotional satisfaction. And if you can do this, then the people around you are going to learn from you and be inspired from you, and it will really secure your position. Cool. All right, I think that's where we'll leave that. I hope you have a good Chinese New Year. It's always really exciting if you do go down to Chinatown and there's like the fireworks and the dragons and the drums and they're beating away the evil spirits and whatnot. It's really so cool. So I'll keep you updated, and we'll do some kind of reading about, I don't know, something else in the near future. So namaste, amor fati, and we'll talk soon. Bye.